Hello everyone, this is Vortex. How's it going today? Well, I hope you've got your Game Boy Advance or your Nintendo DS or perhaps even your PSP handy and loaded with Final Fantasy I. I highly encourage you to play alongside with me today. It's time for another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy I. I'm playing through the Dawn of Souls version. In our last episode, we checked out the village of Pravoka. I believe I bought a few new items last time, including a couple of new magic spells, a couple of pieces of armor, and I think even maybe one weapon for my thief Locke. Afterwards, we set sail in our brand new ship, which was offered to us by the beat-up pirate Dickie, as a promise that he would never again bother the good folk of this seafaring town. Now, we got a chance to fight a couple of new enemies in the sea near the end of our previous video. I believe we fought the Sahagins and the Buccaneers. Now, there's still a few more sea creatures I'd like to fight on the high seas in today's episode, but before we go and seek those out, I'd like to let you know that I spent just a little bit of time grinding for experience points and gil in and around the village of Pravoka here since we last met, and I earned enough gil to purchase some brand new magic spells, weapons, and armor. So let me show you what I've got here. I'll start off by showing you the magic spells. We'll start off with Lena here, and you can see her level 2 white magic spell list is filled up here. I believe I got the Invis spell in our last episode, but now I've also got the Null Shock spell and the Silence spell added to Lena's white magic inventory. The Null Shock spell will reduce lightning damage by half, and that will certainly come in handy against monsters that can use lightning-based abilities and spells. And the Silence spell will prevent all foes from casting spells, so that may be a good spell choice to use if you want to keep those nefarious magic casting monsters at bay. Let's take a look at Vivi's new level 2 black magic. In addition to the Blizzard spell, he can now use the Temper spell and the Slow spell. Now, the Temper spell is one of my favorite spells to use here in Final Fantasy I. I think I mentioned that last time. The Temper spell will raise one ally's attack, but if you keep using it over and over in one battle, that spell will continuously stack, progressively making that ally stronger and stronger. And that spell will definitely come in handy in future boss battles here in Final Fantasy I, as you will see later in this LP series. The Slow spell will reduce all foes' number of attacks, so perhaps I'll get a chance to use a couple of these spells in a couple of battles in today's episode. Alright, so there's the new magic spells available for use. I also purchased one new weapon and one new piece of armor, and both of those I purchased for my Warrior Cloud. I'm going to go ahead and equip those here. I purchased the Broadsword for Cloud. That's going to replace his Rapier. The Broadsword is a sword with a wide double-edged blade. And as you can see, it will increase his attack power 6 points from 16 to 22, and it will also increase his accuracy from 47 to 52, so that's a pretty good buy for Cloud there. I'm also going to replace his chainmail with the newly purchased Iron Armor. Armor made of thinly hammered iron, and that will give him a pretty good boost to his defense. 9 points from 18 to 27, but naturally being a pretty heavy piece of armor, it will take his evasion down quite a bit. So there we have it. I think that's pretty much all of the new stuff I wanted to buy in Pravoka. I'll sell all of that old equipment off screen a little bit later on. Okay, well, let's go ahead and step on the ship here. Before we set sail off in search of our next area, I want to take just a little bit of time sailing the high seas here and searching for a few more new enemies that are available in the sea to add to the bestiary. So I'm going to spend just a little bit of time here on the Aldean Sea looking for those, and once I find them, I'll demonstrate the battles for you. Alright, here is our first contender for today's monster mashing session. In the back row there, accompanying the 4 Sahagins, is a new monster, the Big Eyes, and they're fairly weak. The Big Eyes only have 10 HP, but they have an ability called Gaze, which can paralyze one of your characters, and that can be especially troublesome if there's more than one Big Eyes in the battle. So in order to keep from getting multiple characters paralyzed, it's probably a good idea to take out the big guys as quickly as possible. Now I'm going to have Cloud and Locke focus on attacking the Sahagins. I guess I'll have Lena do the same, and I'm going to have Vivi use his Thunder spell on the big guys. Big guys are weak against Thunder, but I believe even Lena could probably take it out in one hit with her hammer because it only has 10 HP. Alright, there's the gaze attack there. And yep, as you can see, Cloud has been paralyzed. So if left unchecked, the big eyes can paralyze multiple characters, making the battles a little bit more difficult. But we went ahead and took out the big eyes there. As you can see, Cloud is still paralyzed after the first round, so paralysis may stick for a while. Alright, I'm going to take care of the rest of these Sahagins here and finish off this battle. And there we go. I win the battle. I get 40 experience points and 130 gil. Alright, I spent a little bit of time sailing around the high seas here, and I managed to run into another new monster. This is the Sahagin Chief, accompanied by 3 Sahagins. Sahagin Chiefs are just a little bit stronger than their Sahagin brothers. They have 64 HP and they are weak against lightning. This would be a good opportunity to demonstrate Vivi's new Temper spell. Let's use that on Cloud and give him a little bit more oomph to his attack, shall we? You can see he did 49 points of damage to the Sahagin Chief there. He should be a little bit stronger next round with Temper applied. Let's see just how much stronger he is. And also give Vivi's slow spell a try here. See if we can slow all these Sahagins down just a little bit. There's the slow animation, pretty cool. They're all slowed down now, so that'll reduce their number of hits. And there you go, wow. So Cloud does 109 points of damage after Temper is applied. So you can see just how useful that spell is. And Locke does a good job taking down the last Sahagin, and we win 48 experience points and 195 gil for this battle. Alright, there is one more monster I want to find here on the high seas, and I'll be right back to show that to you. Uh-oh, look out everyone, Jaws is on the loose here. That's right, we're gonna have to fight a big bad shark. Another new enemy you can fight here in the Aldean Sea. The sharks have 120 HP and they have fairly high attack power, so be on the lookout for that. Probably a good idea to invis up Vivi here with his low HP. Otherwise I'm gonna have him use the Thunder spell on this thing. So let's see, Thunder should take out the shark. There we go, got rid of it. Whew, very good. Okay, we have got 3 brand new entries we can take a look at in our bestiary here. Let's start off by taking a look at number 19, the Sahagin Chief. 64 HP, no treasure drops, weak to lightning, and resistant to both quake and fire. Number 21 is the Big Bad Shark. Lots of HP, pretty high attack rating, no treasure drops, same weakness and resistance as the Sahagin Chief. And number 22 is the Big Eyes, and it's whopping 10 HP. And it looks like the Big Eyes has one eyeball bigger than the other, and I betcha they're both blinking at you while you're fighting it. No treasure drops, and just like the others, weak to lightning, resistant to quake and fire. Okay, well I believe that's all of the new enemies we can fight on the sea for now. We are now 9% complete on the bestiary, and speaking of 9, all 4 of my characters are now level 9 after fighting the monsters on the sea here. And in fact, I believe they're not too terribly far away from being level 10, so making some good progress there. Alright, well it is time for us to head to the south in search of Elf Country. That's right, we want to seek out the Elf Kingdom next, and what I'm going to do here is press B select on my Nintendo DS Lite. We are currently located in the ship, right where that finger's pointing, just south of the village of Provoca. From here, we want to sail a little ways west and north, and then west again. And then we will sail all the way south across the Albion Sea, and we will eventually come to a port located roughly right around there. We will disembark and head south through a small forested area, and then we should arrive at the Elven Castle located right about there. So not too difficult to get to at all. Alright, well, are you ready? Let's head that way then. West, north, and west again, and then we'll start sailing south from here. Well, the Light Warriors are now level 10 after that battle with 7 Sahagins and 2 Sahagan Chiefs, and boy, I tell you, the Light Warriors have had to fight a lot of Sahagins lately. That should be some good eating for them. What would a Sahagan taste like anyway? Would it taste like chicken? Or would it have more of a fishy taste since they come from the ocean? Well, I gotta tell you, friends, that's one thing I'm glad I'll never know. Ah, there's the port. We have made it. So let's get off our ship here. Now that we are back on dry land and are land lubbers again, let's start walking to the south through this forested area. And let's fight a brand new enemy. We've got a club-wielding ogre here. Yep, big bad ogre only interested in bashing in Light Warriors' heads with club. Yeah, the ogre has 100 HP, fairly high physical attack power, not too terribly bad though. The good thing about the ogres though is they drop plenty of gil. I believe each one will drop 195 gil. We'll need to grind lots of gil in and around this area here pretty soon, and definitely we'll be wanting to hunt down the ogres for the best gil. 48 experience, 195 gil. And we get a new entry in the bestiary. Actually, I've been saving this one. I actually fought a few of those in and around Provoca while grinding for gil around there earlier. So there's the entry for the ogre. No treasure drops, no weakness, no resistance. Just an overgrown musclehead carrying a club around. Alright, let's continue to the south, and I spy a castle with a small town surrounding it. Very nice. We have made it, so let's check out the Elven Castle first. And if we head to the north, we've got a couple of Elven guards standing near the front of the castle. This guard says, Astos' curse has put our prince into a deep sleep from which he cannot awake. Please, will you not attempt to aid our slumbering prince? Uh-oh. Sounds like a big bad guy named Astos decided to come in here and put a curse on their prince. And it's going to be up to the Light Warriors to figure out how to wake him up. Well, I know we can do what my mom used to do to wake me up for school. On those days when I was really sleepy and decided not to get up, we can just put some ice down his sheets. Surely that will wake him up, don't you think? Well, maybe not. If you got a curse placed on you, I don't think even ice would do the trick. This elf says the Dark Elf King Astos stole into the castle and placed a curse on our prince. Then Astos carted away the castle's treasures. That jerk. He wasn't content just to put a curse on the prince, he had to steal the treasures too. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be catching up with Astos before too long and squaring off with him. What do you think? Well, we've got an elf down here in the castle courtyard. He says, I've heard rumors of a witch who can brew any potion you could imagine. Oh yeah, we've heard of this witch. Her name is Matoya. Apparently she can brew potions, but she can't very well brew potions without her crystal eye. Do you think if we find Matoya's crystal eye for her, she would be able to brew a potion of some sort for us? Maybe so. Well, up here in the northwestern corner of the castle, we've got an elf who tells us about the dwarves who live in a cave on the western edge of the Albion Sea. They're a friendly bunch. So not only do we have elves in this game, we've also got dwarves. And they live on the western edge of the Albion Sea. We'll have to keep that in mind. Well, let's go through this chamber here to find the poor cursed sleeping prince. Hey, elf prince, quit sleeping on the job, dude. Yeah, he's just snoring away there. Poor guy. Well, the prince's healer attendant says the prince has slept under Astos' curse for 5 years now. Wow, that's a long time. There must be some medicine that can rouse the sleeping, but where? Well, it's going to be up to the Light Warriors to find that medication. We're just going to have to find someone that could possibly make that for us. One more place I want to visit here in the Elven Castle, and actually what we want to do is run around the side of the castle here, up towards the northeastern corner, and hey, we have got a treasure chamber. Alright! Oh man, bummer. The treasure house has been bound by the Mystic Key. Another one of those darn locked doors. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to go hunt down that Mystic Key. Too bad we don't have a locksmith in our party. We have a lock. Hey Lock, do you know how to pick locks? No, I don't think he does. Well, it looks like our next objective is clear. We're going to have to find a medication to wake the sleeping prince, but we're going to have to prepare first. We need to get some new magic, some new weapons, and some new armor. Perhaps we can find all of that good stuff here in the village of Elfheim, located adjacent to the Elven Castle. So let's check out this place next. The elf near the town entrance says, "I just don't know what we can do. Please help our prince." We're on it, dude. But first things first, we want to go on a shopping spree here, and let's start off by taking a look at the weapon shop, see what they have for sale. If you have a monk in your party, you can drop 160 gil to purchase the Iron Nunchaku. Doesn't look like any of my characters can use that, but looks like Vivi can use the dagger, a large knife, so I'm going to pay 140 gil for one of those. The Crozier bar is a staff topped with an iron ring. Looks like only Cloud in my party could use that, but that would take his attack power down, so I'll pass. And if you want to drop 360 gil, you can purchase the Saber Sword, which is a long sword made for piercing. That would be a good buy for Locke, but you know what? I don't have to buy it because I actually won it as a drop off of one of those buccaneers out on the high seas. So if you want to farm the Saber Sword, you can get it off of the buccaneer. There it is right there. And it's going to take his attack power up to 18 from 15. Very good. So let me go ahead and also equip that dagger on Vivi and take his attack power up a couple of points. Every little bit helps. Alright, let's see what else this town has to offer. Ah, there's a black magic shop right there. Let's go inside here and see what black magics can be bought. Wow, they cost a pretty penny, don't they? 1,000 gil a piece. But you know what? It's going to be well worth the buy, my friends. Especially the Sphera spell. That's a spell that will deal fire damage to all foes versus the level 1 fire spell, which will just deal damage to one foe, so that would definitely be a good buy for my Black Mage Vivi. The Hold spell will paralyze one foe. Thundara deals lightning damage to all foes, and Fokara will lower the evasion of all foes. Now, I'm going to hold off just a little bit before I buy these. I'm going to have to do some gil grinding to get all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely be fighting a lot of ogres around the town here to earn some of that gil. Well, let's continue exploring. There's a church where you can revive fallen comrades. Well, we've got a specially dressed elf located right here. He says, "I am a sage. When the time is right, the future is revealed to me. I shall wait patiently until then." Well, we may have to pay a visit to him in the future to find out what knowledge he will be able to give us when the future is finally revealed to him. But for now, we'll just come on into the armor shop and look at some good armor for sale here. I've already got the iron armor for Cloud. But looky there, there's a copper armlet. Good buy for both of my mages. Armlet crafted from copper, so I'm going to get 2 of those. I was fortunate enough to win a lot of gil off of those buccaneers when I was fighting them on the sea. Also want to get one iron shield, a shield wrought from iron for my warrior Cloud. I'm going to get 2 leather caps, one for Locke, one for Vivi, and I'm going to get a helm for my warrior Cloud. So some new armor to equip here. Let's get to equipping. I'm going to replace the leather shield with the iron shield on Cloud, take his defense up to 29. The helm will take his defense up further to 32, and it will take his evasion down just a tad. Alright, likewise, let's put the leather cap on Locke there, take his defense up to 6. Alright, finally get something to replace my mage's old clothes here. Let's put the copper armlet on, take Lena's defense up 3 points to 6, and her evasion up 1 point to 57. Put the leather cap on Vivi and the copper armlet on Vivi, and finally take his defense up a bit more than what it was. And I'll sell all of my old equipment off screen a little bit later on. Alright, let's continue looking around the town here. Got another elf walking around. This elf says, weapons and armor made of mithril are sturdy and powerful. You should give them a try. You'd be surprised. Oh yes, and that reminds me, I meant to mention this earlier. If you played the Origins version of Final Fantasy I on the PlayStation, and I think also the NES version of Final Fantasy I, you could purchase that mithril sword in the weapon shop here in Elfheim. But the producers of the Dawn of Souls version saw fit to take that off the weapon shop list here. And I'm assuming it's the same for the Anniversary Edition of Final Fantasy I for the PSP, although I can't state that as fact. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait to get that mithril sword, since we can't buy it here any longer. But we will eventually be getting it before too terribly long, I believe. There's an item shop right there, and we've got another elf trying to run away from me down here. This elf says, if the prince does not awaken, there will be no elf king, and we will be at the mercy of the dark elf's evil power. That jerk. Yep, we're going to be squaring off with him, I think, before too long. Working up a good mad just thinking about him putting a curse on that poor elf prince. This elf says, in a journey I once took to the west, I wandered into an ancient castle. Not a soul could be found inside, and the whole place gave me the creeps. So I got out as fast as I could. An ancient castle, huh? Off to the west? Sounds like a suspicious place to me. I'm sure we'll have to hunt that down. Let's see, what have we got over here? Well, we got a small graveyard. We've got a ordinary gravestone here. Another ordinary gravestone, but the leftmost gravestone has an etching on it, and it says, here lies Link. Apparently one of the elves in this town was named Link. Don't you think the elves look a little bit like Link? Yeah, I think that's a square jab at the Legend of Zelda series there. Well, we've got a white magic shop here we can take a look at here. We've got level 3 white magic for sale here. You can purchase the Cura spell, the Diara spell, and the Null Blaze spell. All good buys. And then there's also an extra one called the Heal spell, which will restore a little HP to the entire party, but we'll be finding an item a little bit later in the game that will do just that. So there's more guild to grind for to get the level 3 white magics. This elf says, no one knows where Astos, king of the Dark Elves, is gone. So he's just mysteriously vanished, huh? He can't hide from the Light Warriors. Alright, the final place here in the town we can check out is in the northwestern corner. We've got yet more magic shops up here. This is the level 4 white magic shop, and if you thought the level 3 magic was expensive, well, level 4 is even more so. 2,500 gil a piece for the magic spells here. You can get the Poisona spell, which will cure poison. Fear will drive all foes away in terror. Null Frost will reduce ice damage by half, and then there's the Vox spell, which will cure silence. So there's yet more gil to grind for, friends. This elf says, our prince was meant to become the Elf King, but what will happen now? Oh, don't you worry. Light Warriors will make everything better. And lastly, we have got the level 4 black magic shop here. And again, just like the level 4 white magic, level 4 black magic cost 2,500 gil apiece. You can purchase Sleepra, but interestingly enough, it only puts one foe to sleep. Haste will double one ally's number of attacks. That sounds useful. Confuse will cause foes to turn on each other. That could be fun. And then there's Blizzara, which will deal ice damage to all foes. Yep, lots of gil to grind for, and that's what I'm going to spend some time doing between now and our next episode. I'm going to be spending some time grinding for experience points as well. So in our next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy 1, I'm going to purchase all of that new stuff, and then we will see what we can do to wake up the poor sleeping prince of the Elven Castle. So thank you very much for watching today's episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy 1, everyone. This has been Vortex, your host. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you again next time.